So collections are one of the biggest things in Diamond Dynasty. It's a way where you can build your team by collecting other cards you already have, and you get new cards that can boost your teams overall. Now, the first thing that everyone wants to get done are the Live Series collections, and the Live Series collections are a set of collections where you have to collect every team's Live Series card, and you get a specific player reward, and then it builds up to divisions, the leagues, and then the final collection award, which is Derek Jeter 99 overall. So in this video, I'm going to be going over which collections I would recommend you guys do now and which ones I would stay away from now, just based off of the value of what you're spending and what you're getting back. Okay, so this game literally just came out, so obviously prices are going to change, but this is just relative predictions, I would say. But I'm going to start off with the Orioles. Now, looking at the Orioles, we have no diamonds. We have a couple high golds. So this is going to be a very cheap collection. And we have 87 Jim Palmer. All of these cards are captain series, so you can build your team up with captain boosts. 4-seam, 12-6 slider, sinker, changeup. His pitch repertoire is pretty solid, but the per nines are pretty bad, and the velocity isn't that good. If you have Orioles players, if you're an Orioles fan, go for it. But they're going to be better starting pitcher options, especially in the collections. Moving on to the Boston Red Sox, and my goodness, they have an 81 as their highest player. That is a shock to me. But anyway, this is going to be another really cheap collection. We have Johnny Damon, 87 overall. This is a nice little contact hitter with pretty bad fielding and some speed. Once again, it's a really cheap collection, and you get a diamond. But there are going to be better options, in my opinion, in the outfield with these collections and all over the game. So this is another one that I would maybe, I don't want to say avoid, but, if you do it because it's going to be really cheap. But there are better options, definitely, than this Johnny Damon card. Now, moving on to my New York Yankees, we have a pretty expensive collection here. We have 95 overall Aaron Judge. I mean, look at that power. This card is going to be super expensive. That's first of all. Then you have two other diamonds with Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon. You have a bunch of golds, a bunch of silvers. So this is going to be one of the more expensive collections. But you do get a 93 overall Mariano Rivera, cutter, 4-seam, sinker, slider. This card is going to be an outstanding closing pitcher. Now, look, he's a reliever. I get it. And this is really expensive. But this is 100% worth it because you're getting Aaron Judge, you're getting two diamond starting pitchers, and you're getting one of the best closers in the game, day one. This is going to be really expensive, but if you can get Aaron Judge out of the way, it shouldn't be too expensive, and you're getting one of the best relievers in Mariano Rivera. I mean, look at that control in that break. That's very good for day one. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Rays, we have one lone diamond in Shane McClanahan. He's probably going to be around the 20K, 30K range, I would predict. Doesn't mean that's what it's going to be, but this is a relatively cheaper collection. Doesn't mean it's specifically cheap. You get an 89 Carlos Pena, and this is a card that looks pretty good. First base, lefty hitter, great power, which is one of the most important stats in MLB The Show when looking for a hitter. Defense is silver, so it's going to do pretty solid for you. It's not going to be horrible. And it's a relatively cheap collection. You just need to get Shane McClanahan for a diamond and a bunch of other golds and silvers. So I would highly recommend this one. Great power, lefty first baseman. Wow, the Toronto Blue Jays have no diamonds in their collection. And you get Carlos Delgado, 88 overall, another first baseman with a little less power than Carlos Pena, but he has better contact, pretty bad defense. Now this collection, I'm assuming, is going to be cheaper than the Rays. So honestly, this is kind of just to pick your poison. If you have less stubs, then do this one. If you have more stubs and you want to really get a good first baseman, I would prefer the Rays over this collection. But I mean, you're still getting a pretty solid card, and I am really shocked that there are no diamonds in this collection. The Chicago White Sox have one lone diamond, and it's probably going to be one of the cheaper ones, Dylan Cease. He's an 85 overall, and we have an 88 overall Paul Konerko. Now, this is a very good collection, in my opinion, because you're getting an all-around great hitter. Now, yes, his defense isn't that good, but we have a DH this year in Diamond Dynasty, so you don't need to worry about that. You can throw him in your DH, and this is going to be relatively cheap again. 85 overall, probably not going to be that much. Only 3 other golds and then silvers and bronzes. I think this is probably one of the best bang for your buck collections on day one. For the Cleveland Guardians, we have 2 main diamonds. We have Jose Ramirez, who's going to be pretty expensive, I would assume, switch hitting third baseman. And then we have Emmanuel Clase, who's a very good closer. He only has one outlier. But it is for a 90 overall Larry Doby. Larry Doby has one of the best swings in MLB The Show. His fielding is pretty solid. It's not amazing. And he's a really good hitter. You know, the power versus lefties is a little concerning. But early on, this is a pretty good card. Now, it is a little more expensive, but you're getting a 90 overall outfielder. You're getting a lefty power bat. So I wouldn't say this is one of the top collections, but it's definitely not worth doing. The Detroit Tigers don't have a single gold card, and you're getting an 86 Hal Newhouser. Now look, Hal Newhouser, he's a diamond. That pitch mix isn't that good. The per-9s aren't that good. The control is horrendous. This is kind of just a filler collection, you know. When you're working your way towards Derek Jeter, you got to get it done eventually, and it's really cheap. So, I mean, if you're a Tigers fan, go for it, but this is not going to be a good starting pitcher card for your team. The Kansas City Royals, they have a new legend, technically, Alex Gordon, left field. Hitting stats are pretty bad, except for contact right. The defense is amazing, though, and he has great defensive flexibility. This is another collection that's going to be one of the cheaper ones. You only have one gold in Salvador Perez, who is actually a pretty good gold card. But he is a catcher, and catchers are pretty expensive in the beginning of the game. But this is going to be one of the cheaper ones. And again, you're not really getting a good card with it. Now, it is a diamond. It is a captain card. But, it's going to happen with cheap collections. The Minnesota Twins have one diamond, and it's Byron Buxton. And this card looks really good with that power. The contact is pretty low. And, the clutch is really bad, too. So, your PCI is going to be pretty small. But he has 99 fielding, 90 speed. And then you have a bunch of high golds in Duran and Correa. And you're getting an 88 overall Joe Nathan, and this is a pretty solid card. 4-seam slider, 12-6 cutter changeup. Great per-9s. The control, it's not what you'd look for, but it's definitely a good reliever. It's definitely not a scam of a collection where you don't get, literally any good players. You're getting Byron Buxton, and you're getting Joe Nathan. So, it's a pretty good reliever day one. For the Houston Astros, we have 3 diamonds here. Jose Altuve, you got Kyle Tucker with the same card art for the third year in a row, and you got Yordan Alvarez. So you're getting 3 really good hitters in this collection. You're getting a bunch of gold pitchers as well, and you're getting a 92 overall J.R. Richard. Now, J.R. Richard, per-9s are in the 80s. The control is never going to be there with a J.R. Richard card. The break is pretty good. The thing about J.R. Richard is he throws super hard. He is outlier on that 4-seam. If you can, maybe pull one of these cards, I don't think these diamonds are going to be really expensive. Every diamond is going to cost a certain amount of stubs. But this J.R. Richard card, I think, is going to be a very good card for the first couple weeks, maybe even a little longer than that. So I think this is definitely a good collection. Now, for the most expensive collection every year, we have the Los Angeles Angels. Shohei Ohtani is going to be really hard to get. Mike Trout is going to be really hard to get. My goodness, look at those stats. But the rest of the collection is easy. And you're getting a 94 Tim Salmon. And obviously, they have to juice the Angels collection because you're getting the not the two most, but 2 of the most expensive Live Series cards in the game for Tim Salmon. So, this is pretty hard to get, but you're getting a really good card. So if you end up getting both of these cards somehow, go for it. But it's not going to be easy to get. It's a really good reward for these cards, but it's probably the hardest one to do. The Oakland A's is another collection where, my goodness, only 3 silvers? Okay, this has got to be the cheapest collection, or maybe the Nationals, but anyway, we got Vita Blue, 4-seam curveball changeup slider. Alright card, alright control, pretty good break. You're never going to get a really good card with these collections, but it's not a horrible card. The Seattle Mariners only have 1 diamond, Julio Rodriguez. I'm surprised he's only an 85 overall. You get an 89 Ken Griffey Jr. The stats versus lefties are a little low, but he has great defense, great speed. And you're only getting 1 diamond, Julio Rodriguez, who is an 85, so it's probably going to be one of the cheaper diamonds, I would assume. I think this is a pretty good collection. You're getting great pitchers with the high golds here with Andres Munoz and Luis Castillo. And you're getting 2 diamond outfielders. That'll definitely help your squad. For the Texas Rangers, we have 95 Jacob deGrom and then a bunch of golds. Jacob deGrom, another card that's going to be really expensive day one. This card is going to be nuts. Does he have, he has outlier. He has pretty good control, honestly. The break is not that good. But you're getting a 91 Ian Kinsler. The stats, the hitting wise is not that good, except for power versus lefties, but he does have good defense, good speed. This one I would stay away from unless you pull deGrom. If you pull deGrom, just get the rest of the cards and get Ian Kinsler. But it's going to be really expensive, and Ian Kinsler is a little underwhelming for the price. The Atlanta Braves, we have 5 diamonds in the live series. Spencer Strider, we got Ronald Acuna Jr., we got Max Fried, Michael Harris, and then we have Austin Riley. You're getting 5 really good diamonds here, and not to mention all these golds. For 92 John Smoltz, I mean, the control's good, the brake's good, the speed differential's solid, I guess. I don't know if this is a good reward for this collection. I would prefer somebody else here, in my opinion. If there was a Chipper Jones card here, this would be one of the better collections. But you gotta get 5 diamonds, and 92 John Smoltz, he'll be a solid starting pitcher. But I would prefer other collections for the amount of stubs I'm spending on this one. For the NL East, we have 2 diamonds on the Marlins, the NL East. We got Sandy Alcantara. I think it's Alcantara, how you actually pronounce it. But, he's throwing gas, of course. You got the cover athlete, Jazz Chisholm. And you got Mike Lowell. I really like this collection. You got 2 pretty cheap diamonds day 1. Only 1 other gold and a bunch of silvers and bronzes. And you get a really good 89 overall. So I really like this collection right here. Obviously stats versus righties in the 70s, but those stats versus lefties are really good. Silver defense, I really like this collection. For the New York Mets, we got Edwin Diaz, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and Francisco Lindor. You got 3 90 pluses. This is going to be really expensive, but Tom Seaver's a 95 overall. This is going to be a pretty solid starting pitcher card. Around the board, he is just super balanced. There isn't one thing he's bad at. There isn't one thing he's overpowering you with, but he's overall just a really good starting pitcher this early in the year. Control, break, both pretty solid. So if you have the stubs, I would definitely do this one. The Phillies, there are 5 diamonds here. We got JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Zach Wheeler, and then Aaron Nola. And we're getting a 90 Cliff Lee. The per 9s. The per 9s don't do it for me. Cliff Lee, Philo, yeah. I don't think this is worth the amount of stubs when you could literally do, or I guess the Mets are going to be more expensive than this, but around the same price for a much better starting pitcher, I would prefer the Mets collection. The Washington Nationals, you have 3 silvers, a bunch of bronzes, for an 85 Andre Dawson. Andre Dawson has a pretty nice swing. Those stats versus righties are terrible. But this isn't a bad reward for a Nationals collection. Great defense, pretty solid speed as well. So if you're looking to get a really cheap collection done, I would choose the Nationals. For the Cubs, no diamonds. Again, 2 golds, Kerry Wood. This is one of my favorite collections. No diamonds, a really solid starting pitcher who throws gas. Okay, no outlier, but he still has 99 velo on the 4-seam. Great pitch mix. Control is never going to be there with Kerry Wood. But I really like this collection. You're getting a budget B starting pitcher. You don't have to collect any diamonds. This is one of the best ones to go for. For the Cincinnati Reds, we have 2 golds. We have Hunter Green and Alexis Diaz. 86 Rob Dibble. This is also another really good one. Super cheap, and you're getting one of the best relievers in the game. Day 1, Rob Dibble, of course, is going to have outlier on that fastball. Great per 9s. Control, break, both decent. I really like this collection as well. For the Milwaukee Brewers, we're only going to have Corbin Burns as a diamond. We have a bunch of other golds, though. 88 Ryan Braun. This is another really good collection. Man, the NL Central, just good collection after good collection. Really good stats versus lefties. Serviceable versus righties, net for the beginning of the year. Silver defense, pretty good speed. Defensive flexibility, too. This is a really good one. Now, I don't know how much Corbin Burns is going to be. He's an 89. He's a pretty good pitcher, but I recommend this. Basically, this division so far. But I also recommend this collection. For the Pirates, we only have 1 gold. AJ Burnett is the reward. Per 9s aren't amazing. Pitch mix is pretty solid. It's the same story with these really cheap collections. You're getting an okay diamond that you're probably not going to use that much. So, if you're a Pirates fan, go for it. The St. Louis Cardinals, 2 90 pluses, Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. And then you also have Ryan Helsley. Stan Musial, this card, okay, this is a really good card for, you have to get 2 90 pluses. The defense is silver, but he has amazing contact. He has good enough power, and he can play 3 positions, so I really like this collection. The Arizona Diamondbacks, we have no diamonds. We have 2 golds for Luis Gonzalez. This is another pretty solid one. Good lefty bat. He's going to do the job. He's not going to be anything insane. Silver defense, pretty cheap. You got 2 golds and a bunch of silvers and some bronzes. I would recommend this collection. Colorado Rockies, we have 1 gold. It's CJ Cron. Todd Helton, another pretty solid collection. And, there are other first baseman options. I would rather do the Rays than the Rockies. But, we have really good stats, or not really good stats, but solid stats against righties. Good defense as well. The LA Dodgers, we have 290 plus, or 190 plus, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Clayton Kershaw. A bunch of golds and silvers too. 94 Duke Snider, pretty good card. This is going to be expensive, of course. It's the Dodgers. But he has good defense, good speed, good stats versus righties, alright versus lefties. All around, really good card. I would recommend this collection. Padres, we have 1 diamond only. I don't think Fernando Tatis Jr. is in the game right now, which is interesting. You have 1 diamond in Manny Machado. The rest are golds, silvers, and bronzes. You get a 90 Jake Peavy. Great pitch mix. I would highly recommend you guys do this now before Fernando Tatis Jr. gets put into the game, so you can skip a diamond in this collection. It's not going to be super expensive. You're only going to need 1 diamond. And you're getting a really good pitcher, 90 overall Jake Peavy. So this is one of the better ones. You could save a lot of stubs if you do it before Tatis is in the game. The San Francisco Giants don't even have a gold player. You got 85 Matt Cain. Pretty solid pitch mix. Very low per 9s. The control and breaker there are kind of there. Another really cheap collection. You're getting a solid starting pitcher. So those are all 30 MLB teams. I recommended some. I don't recommend others. But obviously the goal is to get all 30, so you can go division by division, and then league, and then MLB for 99 Derek Jeter. I don't know if I can. Can I? Okay, I can take a look at this. You got for the NL West. I guess we'll work backwards. Fernando Valenzuela. This card has been in previous games. This is a really nice card. Pretty good pitch mix. I know it's not that high velocity, but if he plays like he has in previous games, this is going to be a really good card. For the NL Central, we have 93 Honus Wagner. Honus Wagner cards are always really good. Never going to have amazing power, but high contact, solid defense, great speed, really good bunting if you're like that, defensive flexibility. And this collection, or this division, is probably the cheapest one. Maybe the AL Central is cheaper, but this is one of the cheapest ones, and you're getting a bunch of really good cards. So I would recommend that division first. The NL East, 97 Hank Aaron. This is probably the most expensive division, and you're getting the best player, so it makes sense. 125, 105 versus left, 97, 95 versus right. All right defense, but he has defensive flexibility. This is a very good card. West, we have 96 Billy Wagner. This is pretty nice. We got 4-seam slider, curveball, changeup, outlier. Yep. Okay, this is going to be one of the best lefty relievers in the game, if not the best. And it's the AL West, so obviously you're going to have to do the Angels, so it's going to be really expensive. But, you're getting a bunch of rewards back. You're getting a really good pitcher with Billy Wagner. AL Central, probably the cheapest one. 92 Joe Mauer, and the power is pretty bad. But he does have solid contact and good defense. Not a bad catcher card. The last division is the AL East, and we have a 94 Mickey Mantle breakout. I like this a lot. All of these collections are cheap except for the Yankees. So the big key for this collection is Aaron Judge. If you can get Aaron Judge, you could probably get the rest of this collection done pretty quickly. And you get a really good Mickey Mantle card, switch hitter, good against both sides, good enough defense, good speed. This is probably my favorite divisional collection. Moving on to the leagues. For the NL, we have Sammy Sosa, and it's not going to let me go on the attributes. If I remember, I'll post a picture of the attributes from the stream. We have the attributes. He is insane hitting. I think it's 125 power versus both sides. Really good contact, amazing defense, and really good speed. For the AL, it's not going to let me click it because none of the cards have been discovered, unfortunately. But Mark McGwire, pretty similar card to Sammy Sosa, except worse contact and worse fielding, I'm pretty sure. But, it's a really good card, day one, of course. And then if you collect them all, you get 99 Derek Jeter Signature Series. This card is a beast, man. Really high contact, good enough power. It's in the high 90s. Derek Jeter wasn't a huge power hitter, but, it's good for this card. Really good defense. I don't care if you think that he was a bad defender. It's a video game. And I don't really remember the speed because I don't have it up right now, but I think it was pretty solid. So, yeah, this card is really good. It's Derek Jeter. How could you not want him? Normally, in previous years, this video would be done, but we do have a set collection, which is probably going to be the Legends and Flashbacks collection. We have one day one for set one. You have to collect a ton of set one players. Let's go over these cards really quickly. We got 99 Charisma Jazz Chisholm. This is a really good card, really good against righties. Solid against lefties. Great defense, great speed, great defensive flexibility. We have 99 Trey Turner from the World Baseball Classic. Really good hitter, really nice swing, solid defense, and amazing speed. You know, we have, okay, it's in the choice pack, so I'll just, yeah. For the Set 1 Collection choice pack, you get to choose one of these three. So we have 99 Chipper Jones, probably the best card in the game, day one. 125, 125, 115, 121. Really good hitting stats. You got gold defense, good speed, third shortstop switch hitter. This is probably the best card in the game right now. It's going to be really hard to get, of course. 99 Babe Ruth, day one with these hitting stats is amazing. You know, defense is solid. You can throw him there at first base, but there aren't many cards that are going to beat this card. And then we have Bob Feller, right? It's Bob Feller, I'm pretty sure. Bob Feller, 99 overall. Definitely the worst of the three, but still really good pitcher. Outlier, great per nines, great velo. Control, break, pretty good. So, yeah, that is it for the Set 1 collection. Not going to be happening anytime soon. But, yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, I'm Nick from Big Ends Gaming. Welcome. You know, we're going to have a great year, and I'm going to be the show 23. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.